I'm Everett.
And I'm Josie.
And I'm Everett.
And I'm Josie.
And welcome to
The Rant.
I'm Josie.
And I'm Everett.
And welcome to
The Rant.
That's exactly what I was going to say. First things first. We had
Oh, really?
yeah.
Awesome. First things first. Happy 4th of
Independence
July.
Day. The 4th of July is straightforward. It's on the 4th of July, which is in the name, and I really appreciate that. And you can always tell that it's coming up because all the food at the grocery store is red, white, and blue.
Oh, yeah. I can always tell that it's coming up because there's freaking fireworks being shot off like a month before it gets there.
And during the day, what are you doing with a firework at 2 in the afternoon? You can't see the sparkles when the sun is still out.
People just like to blow things up. It's an American right.
But then also, it kind of puts me a little bit on the edge, because is it a firework? Is it a gunshot? Is it an earthquake? You don't know.
Earthquake? Here in LA, there's all sorts of places you could go to see a fireworks display, the Hollywood Bowl, the Dodger Stadium, Marina del Rey. So you could go and pay money. Or you could do what we did and go to the observatory, Griffith Observatory, and watch the entire city.
It's almost like a war zone.
Yeah.
And you hear it too. It's like this.
But how does it go?
It's like,
Fireworks are illegal in Los Angeles.
but if we all do them, they can't arrest everyone.
Yeah.
My question is, where do they even get them? LA is so big, it'll take you 3 hours to leave city limits.
Maybe they're ordering them on Amazon. Happy birthday, America.
Yes.
In California, they gave you an earthquake.
LA had one of the biggest earthquakes in 25 years.
That's right. There was a 6.4 earthquake about 125 miles away from us. We had German guests. Shout out to Franzi and Stefan. We had
And
them
Leo.
over there. And Leo. And they got to experience a California earthquake right before they left.
Earthquakes are just really kind of part of the California experience.
I don't always feel them. She feels every single one.
The very first earthquake we've experienced, he did not. Everett, there's an earthquake. And he was just like, no, you're probably crazy. And I was like, I might be.
Earthquakes. Why do they happen?
Mexicans.
I blame global warming.
Okay, it's not global warming. I think the earth was moving before we made it warm.
Earthquakes is now the biggest nuisance in America.
I think we should deploy the army.
That's a good idea. Let's build a wall.
You know what? I don't think it's immigrants. I think global warming makes more sense.
Now, we can't talk about USA without talking about football. And not that crappy American football.
American football should be called hand egg because you play it with your hands and you have an egg.
Yeah, I'm talking about real football. You know, the one where you use your foot the whole time.
And you have a ball.
And here in America, it should be football and then men's football. Because women's football is where it's at.
No, you said women's
Yeah, I
football.
did say women's football.
You shouldn't be saying that. You should just be football.
What?
That defeats the purpose.
Football. The U.S. men's football team and the U.S. women's football team should have a game.
You know, I think in every other country I would probably be like, nah, that's stupid. But in America, I think that would actually make sense.
Yeah.
This is the 4th time they're world champions now, which, by the way, congratulations. And that is just ridiculous. The U.S. men's haven't even gotten to a semifinal ever. How can the U.S., which is the biggest country, ever, not be in the top 32?
We are the only developed country that doesn't have universal health care and a good men's soccer team.
Bernie, you gotta get on that.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I want you to get on this. Make women's soccer great again.
It's already great.
Oh yeah, it is great. Make men's soccer great again?
Make men's soccer sort of tolerable, because honestly, you guys couldn't even win the CONCACAF. It is only North and Middle America. And you might be like, are there even countries there? There are 3, and then there are a bunch of teeny tiny islands. And it's not fair to compete against Curacao. How many people do even live there?
Who did we lose to?
Mexico. Well, that's fair. I think Mexico winning made a lot more people happy than if the U.S. had won, because honestly, nobody cares. Even all the people in the U.S. that watched the game, I think were probably Mexican.
I remember seeing reports that the French were really surprised about how many U.S. fans went to the World Cup and sold out the stadiums. I mean, I'm telling you, men's soccer players should be paid less than women's soccer players, and that's just the way it should be.
In the U.S. I mean, congratulations to France for putting on a really great World Cup, because everything was great. But the games cannot be at 8 in the morning in LA because we only have like 2 bars that are willing to open that early and show a game.
We went to 3 bars on that day. We went to the bar we normally go to, was closed. We went to a German bar, they were open, but over capacity. And then we went to a British pub. And that's where we were able to get in.
But standing room only.
Yeah, it was packed. But what a game, man. What a game! Netherlands did really good. It was the first time that the US did not score in the first 15 minutes.
Also, congratulations to Netherlands. You know, this is only the 2nd time they've even qualified for a World Cup. This is what really proves that if you invest in women's soccer, it's really gonna pay off, because this is new. They've only been spending money on this for the last, I don't know, maybe 20 years, and they're already doing so well, so congratulations. The only problem that I have with the Dutch team is you can now play in orange. That just looks ridiculous.
I actually love that the Dutch play in orange. I went to the University of Texas at Austin. Hook 'em horns, our color was burnt orange. A little bit better than orange, but still orange. Hook 'em Dutch.
I would probably have chosen a different university. And I would definitely have chosen a different country. You know, as a cheerleader at heart, it's important what color your uniforms are.
Good thing that soccer doesn't need cheerleaders.
Yep, because soccer is a really entertaining sport.
I'm honestly surprised baseball doesn't have cheerleaders.
Boy, baseball could really use them too.
You know, like hand egg. Speaking of failed predictions.
We weren't speaking of failed predictions at all. We suck at predicting.
Well, we were halfway there. We thought it was going to be USA Germany.
There was a USA Thailanding, and that was rude.
Yeah, baby. Their first game, 13-0. It was just a way for the US to show the world that they mean business.
And that's the only way you can really do a repeat of a world championship, because when Germany repeated their championship in 2007, they beat Argentina 11-0.
What we did to Thailand is what we should have done to Vietnam.
That is probably not politically correct.
The 2 best games were USA versus France and USA versus England.
There were a lot of other good games though. For example, Brazil-Australia was a really fun one to watch. Brazil was up by 2, and then Australia came back and beat them by 3. Sam Kerr is exceptional. Brazil has a bunch of amazing players, not just to mention Martha, because she's amazing.
Yeah, that Brazil-France game was also really good. That was a good nail-biter.
But honestly, check out this motivational message from Martha.
É querer mais, é treinar mais, é se cuidar mais. É estar pronta para jogar 90 e mais 30 minutos, quantos minutos for. É isso que eu peço para as meninas. Não vai ter uma formiga para sempre, não vai ter uma Marta para sempre, não vai ter uma Cristiane. E o futebol feminino depende de vocês para sobreviver. Então pense nisso, valorize mais. Chore no começo para sorrir no fim.
You can't tell, but this was really positive. I know she sounded angry, but I think it's just because she's Latina.
And then Germany versus Sweden, that was really tough watch.
You gotta be careful. The Swedes are always good, but also they are athletically just honestly probably better than any other team out there. They're so fast and they can outrun you for hours. They do not get tired. So if you're gonna beat them, you have to beat them with skill, and you have to be really, really careful to not let them outrun you. And yeah, Germany wasn't careful enough there.
Yeah. And then the Dutch, man, they pulled through. They beat Sweden and then went to the final. One thing that I noticed about the Dutch is that they're all really tall, so trying to shoot over them is not a really good idea.
Yeah, probably not gonna win with headers there.
And what about that Dutch goalie?
I think there were a lot of good goalie performances. Chile didn't get to advance as much as they wanted to, but their goalie actually pulled off some amazing saves as well. Brazil also, I even was like, man, she's awesome and beautiful.
In the end, all that matters is USA! 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 Woo! Thank you for watching The Rant.
If you like this, please hit subscribe and check out all of our other videos. And our social media.
That's our show. God bless America.
Literally, you're never an America fan when it's not the World Cup.